So you've qualified a motivated seller, you have set an appointment, and now you are stuck not knowing exactly what the next move is. In this video, I will be sharing with you 6 simple steps on how to prepare for the perfect listing presentation. Hi everyone, I'm Loida with Team BC in Southern California. Now chances are that you're watching this because exactly what I just described happened to you. You have already realized that you have a very serious seller that you have set an appointment with. Perhaps it's going to be this upcoming weekend. So let's begin. Step 1, you definitely want to do your homework. You want to make sure that you ask a lot of questions to figure out and confirm that this person is in fact a serious seller. Some of the questions that you want to ask are, what is their motivation for selling? Exactly where will they be moving to? How much do they own on the property? Are they interviewing any other agents, or are you the only one? Is there a certain amount of money that they're looking to net in their pocket at the end of the sale after all of the costs associated with selling the property? You see, the reason that you want to ask all of these questions is because it'll help you determine whether or not you can actually help them, and you can also figure out whether or not this homeowner is an actual serious seller, or if they're just a tire kicker that is not realistic on the price or the expectations as to what it takes to sell a home in this market. Step 2, create a CMA, also known as a comparative market analysis. A CMA will allow you to share with your seller exactly what market value is based on what comparable homes are currently selling for in that area. A great tool to create the perfect CMA is Cloud CMA, and the awesome thing is that it's actually connected to your MLS, so the information provided will always be 100% accurate. So now I'm actually going to go on to share with you exactly how Cloud CMA works. So the very first thing that you'll want to do is log on to cloudcma.com and then click on Create a New Report. You will want to click on the button that says CMA because obviously we are creating a comparative market analysis. For the client name, let's name this The Smiths. And for the property address, we will use the address 507 Dahlia Avenue in Corona Del Mar. There you go. Once again, this is an example, and the awesome thing is that Cloud CMA actually pulls up all of the data that's on title and fills in the correct boxes. So as you see, this property here is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,896 square foot home. It is a residential property, and in terms of a property subtype, there isn't anything specific, so we are going to leave that blank. So now the next thing that you're going to want to do is that you're going to click on the quick and dirty method. So what this is pretty much Cloud CMA is going to pull up all of the listings automatically that are comparable to the listing that you have, and it will pull them all together and provide a list. It also gives you an option, if you see on here to the left, for you to provide your own MLS listings that you would like for it to create an analysis for. But again, for the purpose of this example, we're going to click on the quick and dirty method. So it's going to automatically find listings, and it's going to pull up at least 10. You can change it if you want 20, 30, whatever it is, and it's going to go back 6 months. We want to take a look at 6 months because that is how far back an appraiser is going to take a look. So after that is done, you click on Fetch Listings. So what it's doing now is that it's pulling up all the properties that are around our listing. So as you see, here it is. So now we are at the list of the properties that are comparable to the listing that you inputted as the subject. So we're going to scroll down. As you see, it provided some that have closed. These are currently under a contract and some that are currently active. There are obviously some that are coming soon, but we're not going to consider those for the purpose of this CMA. Also, a great thing is that you can actually exclude or include other properties in case you don't want them. So for example, let's say that I don't want to include this one that's 1,970 square feet. We could just go ahead and uncheck that box, and we can do the same for any other properties that we feel are not so much comparable in size to the subject property that we have. So let's say we do want to keep this one, the one on Dahlia Avenue. Again, this one is 507, so this is pretty much the neighbor down the street. We want to keep that one. That one's currently under contract. And let's say we keep the rest just for purposes to share with the seller exactly what's going on in that area. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to customize the report. So as you create a CMA report, Cloud CMA gives you a lot of different options for how many different type of pages you want to include in your CMA. So for example, you can include a title page, a cover page, what is a CMA, and you can also delete all of these pages. So let's say you don't want to include a large packet of a lot of paperwork, or if you don't want to include a title page, you can just go ahead and click on that minus button and take away everything. To just leave, for example, the map of all the listings, a summary of the comparables, and any listing details. In this case, I'm also going to delete the analysis chapter, the comparable property analysis. Let's say I do want to leave all of these other things because, again, a CMA, we want to include as much as possible, but not too much that it gets to a point that the seller does not take a look at it. So let's see, I do definitely want to include the commission distribution. Why you need a real estate professional? I'm not going to include that. The first impressions, not that. Staging, nope. Now I did take away one that I do want to put back, and that is the client testimonial. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that and scoot it on over to the right hand side. So we're going to add the testimonials chapter, and it was added on here. So let's say this is how I want to keep it. We can actually also change the layout where it provides 2 photos, or let's say I want a 2-column comparison. We can do that. The theme, modern royal black. It has also red. It has teal and burgundy. Let's say I want to do teal and burgundy. So I'm going to choose that theme. And now we are going to publish the report. So as you can see here, this is the report, the CMA that we just published. So we are going to quickly take a look at it. This is the view, the PDF format of the CMA report. So this is the CMA that was put together right now very quickly on Cloud CMA. As you can see, all of the comparables are there. It shows the square footage, it shows the price, if they're sold, pending, active. It also gives you a summary. So this is perfect because the seller can take a look at pictures, they can take a look at all the details, and at the end of the day, all of these are facts. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the CMA, especially using Cloud CMA. Now, what to do with this, I will go on over in the next step. Step 3. Once you have your CMA done, the next thing that you're going to want to do is send it over to your seller. So for example, let's say that today is Wednesday and you have set the listing appointment for Saturday. You want to make sure that you send everything over 2 days prior to the listing appointment. So in this case, it would be on Thursday. Along with the comparative market analysis, you want to send copies of contracts, an estimated net sheet, and also your marketing plan. Now, I know that usually the marketing plan can be a lot of pages in a PDF format. So a tip that I want to give you is that instead of sending a long PDF, how about you actually record yourself in a video sharing with the seller exactly what your marketing plan is and what you are going to do to market the home. Are you going to do any active marketing like cold calling or door knocking? How are you going to promote their property to perhaps your sphere of influence and your database? Creating a video will make you stand out, and this is definitely something that they will remember because chances are that if they are interviewing any other agents, the other agents are probably not doing video. So along with sending everything in the form of an email, what you can also do when it comes to the contracts and the CMA is that you can print out hard copies and actually mail it to the seller, or if you live close by, you can actually stop by and deliver it to them in person. You want to make it clear to them that everything that you have sent over is exactly what you will be going over at your meeting. So it is extremely important for them to take a look at absolutely everything that you have sent because it's most likely going to answer 90% of the questions that they have. Step 4, the day before your appointment, you definitely want to call the owner and confirm that they received what you sent over and they have had the opportunity to take a look at everything. Now, the purpose of you doing this call is to find out if they have any questions or any concerns. Perhaps they might tell you that they don't like the commission and they don't like the price. So in this time, you want to make sure that you let them know that all of the questions that they have, you will answer them in person at your meeting. And you also want to confirm in this phone call that aside from those questions, if there's anything else that they had any concerns about, or if everything else looked good, so once you address the other ones at your appointment, if they're ready to get the ball rolling. You want to future pace them to make them see that once you go over to the meeting and you go over all of the details that you have sent over, you're ready to get to work. So this is the purpose for you making the call the day before the appointment. This will help you also prepare for any potential objections that they might throw your way. Which leads me to step 5, and that is to practice, practice, practice. Now, what is it that you're going to practice? You need to be practicing your listing presentation. You can't show up to the listing appointment and just kind of wing it. You see, the purpose of the listing presentation is for you to have a guide as to what type of questions you need to ask and make sure that you are the one that is in control of the entire conversation. At the end of the day, you are the professional and they saw something in you, and that's why they invited you to go over to their home to see how you can actually help them with their real estate needs. Along with practicing, you want to do your homework on the comparables that you have sent over. Write down any specific notes that stand out. Step 6 is the actual listing appointment. You definitely want to make sure that you arrive at least 15 minutes early. That way you're not rushing. If you need to find parking, you will have more than enough time to find parking, relax, take a breather, possibly even go to the restroom if there's one nearby. And this will kind of help you be at ease for that big moment that you've been waiting for. What you also want to do is that 3 to 4 hours before your listing appointment, you want to confirm once again with the seller that you guys are still good to go. It has happened to me many times when I do this confirmation call and they tell me that their schedule has changed and now we have to reschedule our meeting for another day in the week. So it's in step 6 where you have to bring your A game, and hopefully if you have done every single thing that I have just mentioned, you will get the contract signed. All of these steps are the ones that I follow myself for every single listing appointment that I have taken. Ultimately, knowing the comparables and knowing how to explain them to your seller so that they make sure to price the home correctly will allow you to get the best offers in the best time possible and get your seller the most. If you want to try Cloud CMA, make sure to visit cloudagentsuite.com and use my promo code Loida for 30 days free, and you'll save $5 a month on Cloud CMA or $10 a month on the entire suite. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.